With food prices increased, a great way to save money in your weekly budget is to incorporate some meals that are meatless. So today's recipes are all different takes on using chickpeas to make main dishes. And I'm telling you, you are going to love all of these recipes. You won't even miss the meat. The first recipe in today's video is for this garlic broccoli stir fry, and I'm just going to start out with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in my pan. I heated that up and then I added in a diced onion, and I'm just going to let that cook down and get nice and soft. And while that's cooking, I'm going to prepare the sauce for this recipe, which is going to be some water, soy sauce, rice vinegar, or you can use balsamic vinegar, and then maple syrup. And then you're going to add in a little bit of cornstarch as well. Give that a good whisk to combine everything together, and then just set that to the side until we are ready to add it to the dish. You just want your onions to soften, but I definitely let mine start to caramelize, which I love, but you do not need to cook them that far. But once they've softened or caramelized, you're just going to go in with some minced garlic and let that cook for a minute or two until it becomes fragrant. And then once the garlic has finished cooking, I'm going to go ahead and add in some seasonings. And so I'm going to add in some paprika and some onion powder, and then just a little bit of salt and pepper. So since I use soy sauce, I am kind of watching the amount of salt just because the soy sauce is pretty salty. So I just added in a touch, tossed all of that together. And then you want to take a little bit of water, or you could do vegetable broth. And then I'm going to add in my can of chickpeas that I did drain and rinse, along with some broccoli. So for this, I did use a bag of frozen broccoli that I just cooked according to the package directions, so I was able to add it directly into the pan. But if you're using fresh broccoli, you're going to want to follow the recipe instructions. I will have it linked in the description box, so that way you can let it cook down in the sauce as well. And then you're just going to add your sauce into the pan, let it cook for just a few minutes until that sauce starts to thicken up, and then this dish is ready. I just served mine like this, but you could serve it over rice or some like lo mein noodles if you would like, and I am telling you, this is absolutely delicious. Next up, we have this Lemony chickpea feta salad, and this instantly became a favorite for me, and I will definitely be making this because it holds up really well in the refrigerator, and it is perfect for lunches for me with work. So I'm just going to start out by making the like little vinaigrette dressing. So that is just going to be some olive oil, and then you can use honey or maple syrup. I just did maple syrup. And then you want to add in some fresh lemon juice. I did the juice of 1 lemon. And then you can add in the lemon zest too if you would like. Honestly, I was just a little bit lazy, so I didn't zest it. And then you just want to season it with some salt and pepper to taste. And then just give that a good whisk until everything is combined. And now the really easy prep part. So all you're going to do is add in 1 can of chickpeas that you drain and rinse really well. And then you're going to add in some fresh parsley along with some red onion. Give that a good toss, and then we're going to add in our feta cheese. Now, if you don't like feta, you can absolutely substitute a different cheese, but I love it, and it is so good in this recipe. So if you like it, definitely add feta. So you're just going to crumble that in and then give everything a good toss, and then you are ready to serve. This is good right away. Or like I said, it holds up really well in the refrigerator for a few days, so it's really good to have the next day as well. And like I said, I think this is perfect for a meal prep option for lunches, if you need like cold lunch ideas, or for a dinner. The next recipe is for these al pastor chickpea tacos, and we're just going to start out by making the sauce. And so I'm just going to take my strainer and put it over a bowl, and then you're going to drain 1 can of diced pineapple, and then we're just going to use 1 cup of the pineapple and some of that juice that we reserved, along with some apple cider vinegar. You also want the chipotle peppers that's in adobo. You can do 1 to 2 of those depending on your spice level that you like. I'm a little bit of a wimp when it comes to spice, so just keep that in mind. They are pretty hot. And then you're going to season it with some chili powder, cumin, paprika, oregano, and a little bit of salt. And then you're also going to add in some garlic. Then you just want to blend that together. You can do this in your blender. I love to use this attachment from my immersion blender. And then we're going to set that to the side. So I'm also going to add in some mushrooms to this recipe. I love mushrooms. If you don't, you can absolutely leave them out. And I'm just going to kind of dice them up into kind of like quarters, depending on the size, or like in sixths. And then also some red onion. And then I'm just going to put that in a pan over about medium heat with some olive oil and just let that saute down and become nice and soft. And then I like to let mine get a little bit brown too. Once your mushrooms and onions are cooked to your liking, you're going to add in a can of drain and rinse chickpeas, and you're going to let this toast up a little bit. Now, the recipe says you can add additional olive oil if needed, but I did not need to. But you want to get a little bit of color on the chickpeas before you add in the sauce that we made. Then you're just going to let this simmer for a couple of minutes. And I decided, per one of the comments for the recipe, to add in the leftover pineapple chunks, and I loved it. But that is optional. Then you can just serve it in your favorite tortillas. I'm using the Siete brand tortillas here because I absolutely love those, but you can do whatever kind of tortillas you like, or honestly eat it as it is, or even over rice would be really good. I really hope that you got some inspiration in today's video for some meatless meals that you can incorporate into your menu this week. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.